Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-8. It's the Tier 6 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the northeast corner of Outpost, and it's under the command of Angelina75, and this is her first replay for the week's contest with Talon 1958. Yes, she's trying to win the Lion on Sunday morning. Game on. Well, Angelina's got 2 marks on his barrel, but Angelina has 2 marks on a lot of Arty barrels at the moment. So I'm waiting for the first one where it goes over 3 marks, and it won't be long at the rate at which she racks up the damage on the enemy. Okay, you can see straight away she's aimed for the corridor that leads to the castle. She's expecting the enemy tanks to turn up, and a tree just went down a fence. Oh my god, there's a lot of enemy tanks making their way through that corridor at the moment. Unfortunately, our teammates didn't get up there in time, so we didn't see the enemy until they were actually already in the grounds. And the first one we see is not a good sign. It's a Panzer von IV. Yeah. Oh, but Angelina smacks him on the head with 143 hit points from her first shot. She's armed with a 152mm howitzer, capable of doing 550 alpha, and it'll penetrate through 38mm of armor. Standard reload, 19.65 seconds. Angelina's got 16.1. That makes this Arty the new M44, you might say. Capable of doing a lot of damage to the enemy. Well, she decides to stun that von IV. An enemy tank did get in there. I think it was a super chappy. So we've got 2 tanks in the castle grounds at the moment. We're going to have another go. Rounds out on the OI. Direct hit. So she did hit him. She's having to pull back down, not only because she wants to avoid counter battery, but mainly because there are enemy tanks in plain sight at the moment, and well, if one of them went to the edge, they might actually spot her. Oh, now that's a juicy target. That's the TOG 2, and that's just a huge pinata for Arty players. Direct hit. 232 off that one. We can see the last hit on the OI did a couple of 100 hit points. Is it a couple of 100? Yes, it is. A roundabout. He's down to 990 now. Well, it's about 180 hit points of damage. She fires straight away. Oh, and a direct hit on the TOG, but she stunned both of them. TOG took another 253 hit points. Relatively thin armor on the sides of TOGs. That's why they make such good, juicy targets. Rounds out the OI. Direct hit, 165 this time. She's punishing them. She really is going for it. And that's what Arty does. It punishes any tank who happens to follow a habit and are predictable. Okay, Angelina's had a request for fire on... Well, she did have a request for fire on that Stug Fear. She's going to go for the M4A1. She changes mine. She goes to the Stug Fear again. Rounds out. Well, I put that one down to RNG dispersion. It was a long-range shot, but unfortunately it landed a long way away. But the good news is the enemy has just lost their Panzer von IV, and of course that is a premium tank with a very fast fire rate. Okay, she's going to try and hit that Stug 3 Aslains. Rounds out. Again, it goes to the left of the aim point, but she does get some stun. Okay, so maybe it's just she's having a run of bad RNG at the moment, but oh, that KV-1SA just took a round from a Fifi, and Angelina puts him out of the game for 154. Nice shot. In fact, I'm not sure, but I think the Fifi might have benefited from that one as well. Okay, going back. We can see we're 2 down on the enemy at the moment. They seem to be having a good game. Angelina's trying to dial in on that Stug 3. Rams out. It went alongside him, so the RNG was a little better. It went to the right this time, but you can now see why it was a good idea for her to pull down from that height, because the super chappy has actually gone around the houses and actually come well within sight of where Angelina was originally located. She's trying to get a shot there on the Stug Fear. Unfortunately, she can't. Oh, but she can hit the super chappy if she can dial in time. Rounds out. Yes, good hit. 263, thin armor on a super chappy. They make good targets for Arty. Okay, you seem to have moved up to the rubble just there. We're almost loaded. Angelina's going to have another go. Rounds out straight away without spotting him. And no joy on that one. But the Super Chappie was there. And he was actually taken out by a Doom Turtle. Not Doom Turtle. A Death Toaster. Sorry, a Panzer 75 4C. And Angelina's decided to move away from the cap area. Mainly because we are now down by 4 tanks. And they are approaching from the other side of the battlefield. So it's none too healthy over here. She's right up against the edge of the map. But she's going to hold at this spot and see if she can shoot at the enemy. Okay. KB1. Yeah, that was the PP just firing in from a different angle. We fire in and no joy. Oh, but the Churchill just died to a Hellcat. So if he's gone behind that house, Angelina's going to provide a nice little crossfire. But her protection has actually just disappeared. She did have a teammate who was actually further south than Angelina, but he's now pulled back, or did he get killed? But she's got nobody covering that area, so she has to move. In fact, she's pulled back straight away to the cap area where they can defend in depth. So not good in a sense, because it now means that they are 4 down from the enemy, and it looks like they're, well, they are losing. We just saw the KV-1 wiped out. Now we can see the TOG. He's coming into sight. Well, he's coming down from the pass. Angelina's pre-aiming. That's another point that you should always consider if you're learning Arty. Try and pre-aim at spots where you expect the enemy to appear. If you spot an enemy moving down a road and he's about to appear from that road, pre-aim at the spot where you expect to see him or where your teammates expect to see him, and then when he comes around the corner you smack him in the face with a pre-aim shot, and then he learns exactly that was a mistake. In fact, I get a lot of kills from pre-aiming. In fact, I get a lot of blind kills from pre-aiming as well, because obviously I expect people to be silly and do the predictable things. And we're seeing a lot of shells coming out of a particular corner over on the other side of the battlefield, and Angelina could do some counter battery at this point, because the shells all seem to be coming from the same spot. We know the enemy RT in this game is an FV304 and an AMX-13AM. I suspect that's the FV firing. She's now going to go for the box tank. Try and line it up. Getting over the house is the problem. Oh, close. And it looks like the PP did get a shot onto him, and he's still stunned. So she picked up some stun assist there, and there's an M4 is gone. The TOG took that moment to try and appear. He's now in sight of our cap. Angelina's going to put a shell into him. Yes, right into the side armor. 166, but she was spotted. She is right in the corner, and she was behind the bush. And now she's taking fire from the Stug. Okay, she's out of the line of sight, but the enemy RT sees her. And that's why she's getting fire from the RT as well. She's right up in the corner of the map now. Okay, so she can either aim in the same direction where she received the fire from the Stug, but I'm not sure if she'll get a hit on him. Much better to aim for the tanks that you can see. Now, going back to pulling back the view so we can actually see what's going on. Okay, there's the Stug Fear. That's down the line of sight. He's using the house for cover, but he started moving. Okay, she's dialing in to get a super accurate shot. Oh, she killed him! Direct hit! That shows the reason why you dial in like that, and the reason Angelina does it. That's how she gets those kills off a very narrow target. She dials in the aim so well that she can get the shot. But it's now just 2 RT left on her team. It's her and the PP, and the enemy are closing in. So the shells are going to start coming in thick and fast. She knocked the tree down on purpose to try and force the enemy RT to aim at a spot where she wasn't located. And also, Angelina was using that tree for cover. Enemy RT firing in. She's pre-aiming with a shotgun. She's not spotted yet, but she will be momentarily. And she shotguns the Cromwell. And he does get taken out by the PP, but now she has to move, change position. because enemy Arty shells are coming in, and oh, the Fifi goes. Yes. The Chi-2 took out the Fifi, and then Angelina died moments afterwards. Here's the end of battle stats. Sadly, that was a defeat for Angelina, but it was a second-class tanker for her as well. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. She got 8, and she got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on her team. Her win rate was quite high, 3,328 Super Unicum standard, but sadly, I'm afraid her team wasn't up to the same standard, and unfortunately, they all died. Yes, because most of her teammates died away, and then it was just the last two Arty fighting it out on their own. And yes, they were never going to win against so many enemy tanks all doing the same thing at the same time, going after them. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in the game turned out to be the Hellcat on their team, who got a high caliber for 2,317 hit points. Second highest damage was the TOG-2, surprisingly. He got 2,058 hit points, win rate 5308. And the third highest damage, well, that went to the other Arty on her team, the Fifi, who managed to get 2,053 hit points of damage in the game. Angelina got the fourth highest damage in the game. She got 1,986, so it was a good fight. And of course, she got the Confederate medal as well. When it came to kills, it was the enemy team who did the best. The Chi-2 got a Pascucci's medal because he actually killed both Arty. 4 kills went to him. 3 kills went to the Stug Fear and also to the Hellcat on our team. And then 2 kills went to the Fifi, to Angelina, and the Panzer Sepsfiler Ferter FC, the Death Toaster, the TOG-2, and the Super Chaffee on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, Angelina was at 468, but the winners in this game was the TOG-2 with 948, followed by the Stug Fear with 920, somebody who actually knows how to use that tank, and 884 went to the Chi-2, who managed to get the Pascucci's medal, if you remember, killed both enemy Arty in the end. That included Angelina. Let's have a look at detail. She fired 17 rounds. That's a good output, which is why she's got such a high score at the end of the game. 9 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but she did get 15 splashes. Damage of 1,986 hit points, of which 1,757 were at more than 300 meters. Remember, she did get that close-range shotgun on the Cromwell, who then got executed by the Fifi immediately afterwards. A nice double tap, that one. She received 3 hits from the enemy. All 3 were penetrations, I'm afraid, and that ended her game. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were destroyed, which meant, of course, she got a 7 difference, which made the Confederate. 250 hit points of stun assist off 13 stuns. On a free-to-play account, she earned 21,761 credits for the battle, 3,582 for courageous resistance. That's because she got the Confederate medal, a battle hero medal in a losing or drawn game. This was a loss. 25,343 credits altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 9,610 credits profit. She got 30 bonds out of that one, so mission achievement. And 468 base XP, 277 for courageous resistance, took away 745 experience points altogether. She says, make them earn that win. Yes, exactly. She was really fighting hard at the end. Not like some players who've got an idea that Arty drowns themselves at the end of the games. No, we don't do that. We fight because we want every hit point we can get off the enemy, and you make it as hard as possible for them to win. In fact, actually, if you can defeat the enemy if you keep up the pressure on them and you've got enough of you, then even just a couple of Arty left at the end of the game can sometimes win the game against all the odds. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that replay. This puts Angelina in the lead. Talon's now going to have to get at least a second-class medal and a better score than on the Win 8, or he's going to have to get a first-class to beat Angelina's score at the moment. And I wouldn't put that past him. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Talon actually came up with an ace tanker game. If that was the case, then he would win the contest outright from that replay. But we'll have to wait and see, because obviously we've got a full week. Well, full week. We've now got 3 days left before the weekend. So, full week. Yes, we've got 3 days left. So I'm plenty of time for Talon to come up with a good response. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.